Welcome to RadoNorm video series. Today we have a special guest, Balazs Madas. Thank you for joining us. And he recently received the title of Honorary Associate Professor from the Budapest University of Technology and Economics. Thank you, Balazs. Would you like to start with introducing yourself and your background to us, please?
Thank you very much. So I'm working at the Center for Energy Research as a senior research fellow and the group leader. And most of my research is related to the biological effects of ionizing radiation, in particular the effects of radon progeny. And I'm also very much interested in the effects of inhomogeneous dose distributions. And besides the research activities, as you mentioned, I also have courses at the Budapest University of Technology and Economics and the Eötvös Loránd University. From a personal point of view, I'm married and we have 5 children and live in Budapest.
Great, great. And you explained about your background, and because it would be for general audience, if you put it a bit in a less technical term, can you explain to the general audience exactly what you do?
Yep, I will try. Also, I'm not involved in the communication activities of RadoNorm, but I will try to do my best.
Perfect.
So if you look at ionizing radiation, then the units of exposure absorbed dose, the units of absorbed dose is gray, and 4 gray is enough to kill half of the people who are exposed to that. But if we look at the energy, this is not so much. So it's not more energy than 1 sip of coffee, for example, which is, can be quite surprising. So ionizing radiation is dangerous because the energy deposition is very inhomogeneous. So there are many tiny packages which is very energetic, and that is the reason why it is so dangerous. And I'm particularly interested what happens if some of your cells receive much higher doses than other cells around, whether it's different than if all the cells receive the same doses. So that is what I'm interested in the biological effects. And of course, it also needs to understand and quantify rather precisely the dose distribution. So if you are live in a room and there is radon around and radon progeny, then it's not so straightforward to determine how much dose your lung cells will absorb from that. So for that purpose, you do a lot of modeling stuff. I hope it's helpful.
Really good and really clear. You're not involved with the communication, but you've done a really good job. Thank you very much. So have you been involved with research on radon for a long time?
Yep. Actually, my first master thesis was about the effects of low doses of ionizing radiation, in particular radon progeny. So it's more than 15-year-long story from myself. And what is really nice that some of the results or predictions of my first models now tested in RadoNorm. So research sometimes goes slowly, but it's really nice that there is some continuation what started.
That's really great, yeah. Since your master, so yeah, that's a long time. What about, you said, RadoNorm? How did you get involved with this RadoNorm project? Can you tell us about that, please?
Yeah, so when was the call out of this, I don't know what was the call at that time, but I was aware that a proposal about the effects of radon is prepared. And therefore, because we had this history with radon, I wrote a message to the coordinator, Ulrike Kulka, whether we can join and contribute, and wrote some sentences what we did. And I was quite surprised that the next email from her was that whether I could lead the dosimetry work. So it was much more than I was expected, but I'm happy that I'm involved. So
And we're very grateful that you took that responsibility. And talking about the responsibilities, can you tell us about your responsibilities in the project a bit, please?
Yep. So as I mentioned, I'm the work package leader of the dosimetry work package. It serves to help the work package 4, the effects work package, because if you are interested in any dose-effect relationship, then you have to know precisely the doses. So we have 6 tasks in this work package, and there are linked tasks in work package 4. And among these 6 tasks, we are involved in 4 and leading 2. One is led by my colleague Arpad Farkas, and one is led by myself. And we also do some modeling work in work package 4. So if that is the dose distribution, what can be the outcome? So the tasks we lead, in them, we quantify the dose distribution in vivo in human lungs and in vivo in rat lungs, and also in the experiments which are performed. So as I said before, it's very important to quantify what are the doses if you have a given radon exposure around, or radon concentration around, and therefore the experiments should mimic the dose distribution, what is the in vivo situation. And there is another task where we are particularly interested in focusing on the differences in the effects of homogeneous and inhomogeneous exposures.
For what you explained, it seems like you have a very busy schedule. And if I remember at the beginning of the interview, you said that you have 5 kids, yeah? How do you manage these responsibilities of work and home? How do you keep this balanced?
Yep. I think it's very important that my wife is very supportive. She's with the children for a very long time, and that's very important and very necessary. And sometimes we also try to reduce the burden what she takes. So, for example, if there is a conference or training course where I have to go abroad, sometimes some of the children come with me. The oldest already can go around and look around in the city. If the youngest came, then sometimes I also had to come with someone who took care of the children. So sometimes not only the children came with me, but some friends or someone who could help.
That's really nice. I think at work we collaborate, and at household we work as a team, yeah? You take the kids to the conference and they already get involved with this. And yeah, that's fascinating here. Thank you for sharing that. And if we bring this together, the household and the projects, you work with radon, and I know that Hungary is a radon-prone area. Did you measure the radon level at your home?
Yeah. Indeed, where we live, it's on the ground floor, so theoretically it can be higher radon concentration. Yeah, not just theoretical, it's the reality. So I measured the radon concentration several times at home, also using with active detectors and also with passive detectors. It was part of the Hungarian monitoring project. So I was asking from the authority detectors and sent back, and they evaluated. With the active measurement devices, I can also measure. And sometimes some of my friends also ask me whether I can measure here or there.
Because of your expertise, yeah?
Yeah, I'm not an expert in measuring radon concentration, but of course I have much more knowledge
radon, yes.
general population. Yeah.
It was really nice talking to you, especially you discussed about your personal life and the project life and how you start this radon journey from since your master's study. It was really great talking to you. It was a pleasure. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you, Nathan.
Thank you. Bye-bye.